know, 2,000 Borough fans have got to go there and hopefully roar us onto a victory. But you know what it is? It's hard to see now. I can't take it at Norwich. I can't stand Norwich. It's that club that just irritates me. Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. No, not outside my granddad's shed. My dad's garden shed, this one. So, different location. I've done a video since the Norwich home game. Obviously, I couldn't make the last game of the season against Coventry. I also couldn't make either leg against Coventry. And after watching that second leg against Coventry, I had to take a lot of time away from YouTube because it was a lot to take, wasn't it? You know, us Borough fans thought and believed that this was going to be the season we were going to do it. And of course, we never did it. Fair play to Coventry. Second game, obviously, or should I say second leg. They obviously bossed it second half, purely and simply, and their game plan worked and ours never, and the rest is history, I suppose. It is what it is, but we're here because Middlesbrough today, earlier on, released a retained list, and I am here to basically talk you guys through it. For anybody that isn't able to get on the internet, so go and look at the Borough website, or possibly doesn't have a computer, or whatever it might be, I'm here purely for your entertainment to tell you all about the retained list, tell you about some younger players who are going to be made first team pros, tell you about all the loan players and who are rumoured to get back on loan, who have obviously just been here on loan. There is a slight rumour that, you know, a few might be coming back into it all. I'm here to basically tell you about all that, and we're going to get straight into it with the retained list. Now, there's a name in here that does surprise me, which I will get onto in just a little bit. A few of the other ones don't really surprise me too much, didn't really have too much of an impact whilst here in Middlesbrough, but listen, we wish them well nonetheless. First one being Luke Daniels. He's obviously going to be going. I'm not massively afraid of the fact that he's leaving. I'm not actually disappointed. Luke, we've seen bits and bobs about him. We didn't really see too much, did we really, to do with Luke Daniels? I remember seeing an under-21 game or under-23 game against Sunderland away. I actually went to it and he played in it. And that was about the only 90 minutes I've really seen Luke Daniels play. I can't really recall much else from the guy. The next one, Joe Lumley, of course, spent last season out on loan at Reading. Of course, they wanted to get relegated, so I don't know how well he did out there, you tell me, but it didn't sound like he did too well of a job. But not to sound too critical on him, of course, you know, in that great cup run that we went on, until we were knocked out by Chelsea, he was actually pretty decent, to be fair. Man United away, okay, made a few mistakes, but of course, you know, he's obviously between the sticks for Alanga's missed penalty, which he didn't have to save. To be fair, he didn't save any of the penalties, but he was still the goalkeeper, but obviously won that night. And then, of course, he played a big part inside that Tottenham game at home. And obviously, Josh Coburn scored. He obviously saved the shot and pushed it onto the post. If they go 1-0 up close to the end of the game, or even in extra time, the match is over pretty much, isn't it? But, to be fair to him, he made a killer save. And I don't mean to say over his whole time at Middlesbrough, that's the only thing I can point out about the guy. But it is at this moment in time. And yeah, Joe Lumley, he's alright, isn't he? But I think, you know, he might do well in League One. He could possibly go back to Reading. He might do alright down there. Grant Hall's another one that's obviously being left. Yeah, again, Grant Hall, I didn't think he was too bad, actually, you know what I mean? I know he picked up a horrible injury. You know, he's out for quite some time, wasn't he? And of course, Borough have to then go and get other defenders to try and make up for it. Grant Hall, yeah. Is it a shame? Not really too much of a shame, not really too much of a disappointment. When he did play for us, I thought he was half decent, to be fair. I didn't think he was actually too bad. But listen, you know, he's obviously departing the football club, so fair play, Grant. Good luck in the future. Next one, Darnell Fisher, who got a horrible injury, absolutely brutal injury. We haven't really seen him play at all. Of course, you know, he came from Preston, what, 2-3 years ago? I think when you've seen him once or twice. Picked up a horrible injury, came back, I think it was against Coventry, he came on, or possibly could have been on the bench. And now, of course, you know, he's obviously been let go, so that is what it is, you know what I mean? We barely seen him, and now we definitely won't be seeing him. He's leaving. The younger lad's leaving us. I have to read off the sheet of paper in front of me here because I don't know all the names off the top of my head. Doherty, Swan, Ridley and Cornet, they're all leaving. The scholars that are leaving is Evans, McCarthy, Wallens, Ming. And the contract extensions to the younger players is Civi and Isaac Fletcher. And the 3 younger players stepping up to become pros is Fenton, John, Popple and Simpson. And of course the loans that have obviously been here and obviously going back. You guys already know them, but I'll read them out anyway. Archer Stephan, Giles Mowat, Muniz and Ramsey. Now, there is a talk about Wolves. The latest rumour being that Giles could be returned back to Middlesbrough. Wolves are happy to let him leave. Now, this is the thing that, you know, particularly through last season, Wolves obviously said that, you know, if Borough went up, no problem, Borough could have him inside the Premier League. Obviously got knocked out in the playoffs, but the latest rumour is that Wolves are still happy for Giles to leave to Middlesbrough. even though they didn't get promoted. If that's true, that's massive. If Borough could obviously bring him in, that'd be absolutely unbelievable. Now that obviously Stefan's gone back to Man City, Lumley's leaving, Daniels is leaving. Obviously, you know, Borough still got, what, 2 keepers, is it? Is Stojanovic still our goalkeeper? Or did we sell him? I'm not too sure if he's just on loan or not. If not, then of course Roberts is there. I would have to imagine, and want to obviously presume, that Borough are obviously going to bring in another goalkeeper. I would love Stefan back, but he is of course on 60 grand a week. Although I heard he's on 80 grand a week. Either way, he's on massive money at Manchester City wage-wise. Probably is too much for the Championship. Would he take a pay cut? Would he come back to Middlesbrough? Possibly, but could we get him back on loan? That would be absolutely killer if we could. Because he's some keeper, to be fair. He's a lot better than anybody we've got at the minute. Not to sound too critical on the current keepers. But I'm just saying, my opinion is, I purely think Stefan's a lot better than, you know what I mean, the 2 goalkeepers currently at the club. Apologise for the dog barking. Cameron Archer, will he come back? There's no real talk on it yet. Of course, only early days, we don't know. I would love Ramsey back. If we get Ramsey back on a loan, that'd be absolutely huge for us, to be honest. Mowat as well. Mowat, I actually didn't think it was too bad, you know what I mean? Whilst he came in and played for us inside our midfield, whilst Howson was away, I thought he did an alright job, so I wouldn't actually mind, you know, Stefan back, Giles back, Mowat back, Ramsey. Obviously, I love Archer, but it's all about whether or not Villa are going to use him, or whether or not he's going to come back on loan again. So, do you know what I mean? We have to weigh things up and see how things go, but either way, you know, it was a season of, it started off doom and gloom under Wilder. Carrick came in, filled us up the league, didn't he? Fair play to him. What a season we had under Carrick. It's just such a shame for us, the fact that, you know, we're in them playoff pitches, we looked knackered, the team looked absolutely shattered, and unfortunately for us, you know, we don't get the fairy tale going at Wembley again at the weekend, and what could have been, we will never know. Next season is going to be a lot more tough inside this Championship. We already know this. Southampton's already been confirmed to go down. Who will be joining them? Well, we don't know, do we? Either way, it's going to be a rock-hard league next year. I don't think the League One teams are going to affect them sort of top 6 places. I don't feel like. Plymouth, Ipswich, and then possibly whoever else it is. Probably be Sheffield Wednesday. I don't feel like they will probably affect the top 6, but I think, you know, the bottom 3 coming down from the Premier League, we'll be looking to bounce back, and that'll be tough regardless. So, even though I feel like personally our best chance to go back to the Premier League was definitely this season, listen, next season it's back on again. So, we'll see what happens. If you guys have enjoyed as always, though, do like, comment, share, and subscribe. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.